What's up, everybody? Dark Cosmic here, back with another astrology video. So today I want to talk about Sun in the 11th house. Now, when you have Sun in the 11th house, this is similar to Sun in Aquarius. So, your ego, your vitality, your command, your actions are now being represented by um, groups and organization. Um, there's another word for Aquarius, I believe it's philanthropy, because they are very like giving signs, and they will, basically give the shirts off their back because they're the water bearer. They bring water to the thirsty, whether that's knowledge or valuable gifts that they need. They will bring that to the community, to the group. The group is very important to these people. So having your ego is attached to the group. Your ego is attached to these things, to helping others, but in a logical way. In a distant and cold logical way is how Aquarius prefers to help others. They don't really like to get too deep and emotional with people. But if you have Sun in the 11th house, you basically have it's similar to having your Sun in Aquarius. So these people, to me, these people, their egos are very attached to their groups of friends, or their egos are very attached to the groups and organizations that they are a part of. So if they are a part of an artistic group, their ego is attached to that. If they are a part of a church, their ego is attached to that. If they are a part of anything, motorcycle club, whatever, their egos are attached to those things, or just their main friend group, their ego is attached to that. So whenever things change in that environment for them, they may feel, or if they don't feel like they are a part of a group, or their friend circle is popular or doing anything with their lives, they're gonna feel that within themselves, like they're a loser because the people that they're hanging around are losers. Now, this may you might think everybody is like this, but this affects Aquarius more than the other zodiac signs. So, because let's say the opposite, right, is Leo, right? Leo could probably hang around a bunch of losers and not feel like a loser themselves because they're the center of attention. So they don't really care. They perceive those losers as, kind of like fans rather than actually being the star of the show. So that's why Leo can do that. But Aquarius might be like, I can't hang out with these people because they're losers and they represent me. So so Aquarius, or the 11th house sun sign, their egos are attached to these things. And ironically, they really do care what the group thinks more than the individual. That's another thing I like to point out about 11th house Aquarius type people. The individual is not as important to them as the group. So they're not going to prioritize one person over a bunch of people if there's an issue. They're always going to prioritize a bunch of people. So this can oftentimes make an Aquarius or the 11th house individual come off as cold and detached and not caring about somebody when they're bringing up a personal issue to them, because Aquarius or 11th house people aren't really like personal type people. They're more like, how does this affect everybody? Or how does this, like, they're thinking about everything versus just your individual problem. So I'll also say this: these people don't really like to wear their hearts on their sleeves because Leo represents the heart. Aquarius is more like the mind, so you need both. But these people don't like to wear their hearts on their sleeve. They don't like to show their emotions. I'm not saying that they can't cry, or they're not robots or anything. But these, generally speaking, these people, they don't like to show how they feel about things because that's going to make it personal to them, and they don't want to indulge in personal things with you, or indulge in their own personal things They don't want to bring their personal things to the table, and they don't want to bring your personal things to their table. So another thing that I would say about this placement is that these people shine very brightly when it comes to them being in a group. They might be the most unique person in that group, though. You know what I'm saying? So any group that if they're part of a church, motorcycle club, these are the people with the most bizarre or colorful outfits, because they're gonna shine there. That's their light is there too. That's what makes them very similar to Leo. You might get an Aquarius confused with a Leo sometimes, because they both might be very egotistical, and they both might be very arrogant in their own ways, but they're both colorful at the same time. So you might get them mixed up. Whereas the Aquarius is doing that not because they want attention, more because they want to be unique and just for the sake of being unique. Whereas Leo will be doing it in a way where they're trying to get your attention. It's very subtle though, because I've been around Aquariuses and Leos, and they're almost identical in the way that they're dressing, like very flamboyant, very out there. But the Aquarius will never ask me or try to draw my attention to their clothing. But the Leo, 9 times out of 10, is going to do that in some way, shape, or form, is going to discuss their outfit in some way, because they're trying to draw your attention to them. Whereas Aquarius is just kind of like they walk in and they're not really thinking about getting your attention on them. They just want to be unique for the sake of being unique. So other than that, to me, this placement really creates, like I said, I didn't go too deep on that part when I said that they like to help people, but these people are like good Samaritans. These people, they think about other people. You know, like they might see somebody struggling on the side of the road, like they have a flat tire. They might help that person. More than likely, they'll help them because they're thinking about the collective. They're thinking, you know, that could have been me, or that could have been my mom or dad. They're thinking about that, versus someone that's more selfish might think, you know, that has nothing to do with me. That doesn't have anything to do with my circle, my center focus. So, you know, leave it to the wayside. Aquarius is not thinking that. Aquarius is thinking about the group, you know, like if one person fails, we all fail, right? Because if I don't help this person out, then everybody's going to start doing that. Then we're going to have a whole society of people that don't help nobody out. And then everybody's just going to be fucked. So that's another thing that I would like to say about this placement. But overall, just take those things and keep those things in mind. Very group oriented people, very detached, very colorful, creative, and just different, unique type people, I guess. Uniquely different people. And they're very helpful. So this is my video on Sun of the 11th house. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Well up.